going to get done and get announced?
Well, it was going to get done. Nobody makes the decisions but Dana. So some guys think that they have it all figured out, but, you know, he's got it figured out, and I traveled down there with him. I had the inside scoop. I knew how this was going to go. Right. But just because the last one to the table was Anderson, we knew how it was going to go.
When he says that you don't deserve the rematch, I mean, do you think that he really believes that? Is that just posturing on his part? Is there any validity to what he's saying? I mean, what do you think when he says that?
There's no validity to anybody deserving anything. You know, I didn't come in here and deserve a shot. I'm taking my shot. You know, if a guy says that he's ready for the fight, he's ready. That's it. And there's not a lot of guys. You can go on the internet right now, you won't find one guy that's ever called me out. I've called a lot of guys out. Oh, he's disrespectful. They say a lot of things, but they don't say I want to fight Chael Sonnen.
How does this feel versus the first fight as far as in terms of the attention? I mean, this is, everybody's saying this is the biggest fight of the year. You know, the UFC needs a home run right now after all the injuries and things like that, and it comes down to your shoulders. What does it feel like to be that guy, to be kind of the superstar of the promotion right now?
Well, you know, look, I'm the highest paid guy in the company, and I'm the biggest draw. And the fact of the matter is St. Pierre is, but George is out right now, and that makes it me. You know, it used to be Lesnar, he's gone. It used to be Quentin, George is on the shelf. I am the guy. And it's an honor, man. It's an honor, but I got a responsibility. You know, I don't mean to talk about money and be brash, but the fact of the matter is I'm the highest paid guy, and I'm the biggest draw. And you know, that's a compliment, but at the same time, if that comes with pressure, man, I'll wear it. This is a job I asked for. I haven't been drafted. I'm a volunteer army, and I'm here on my own free will.
Where did that line, forgive me if you have used it before, that began with John Jones and the rhyming...
I'm like John Jones, I sound like Sean Combs, and I got trombone-sized stones like John Holmes.
Was that the first time we'd heard that today? Or
that was, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, and where did that come from, Chael? Were you driving along in your car one day and you
We'll never know. We'll never know where the genius gets his material from. We may never know. Read the book, page 92, Voice of Reason.
What was that like for you to have your trainer go down with a stroke? I heard it was basically right in front of you at the gym.
Yeah, man. I was a first responder. Never been in that. Never had that before. And I've read about it. I've been trained for it. But it was very interesting. And I say that so that, you know, if other people are listening to this, they can learn too. And it's very important. And I was a sociology major at University of Oregon, but there's something called displaced responsibility, and if somebody runs into a room and yells, call 911, you're going to assume he's going to call, he's going to assume nobody's going to call. So, you know, you got to point and say, you, call 911, we need an ambulance. And, you know, that's just what first responders do, and I hope that people see that, because when you get put in the spot, it's a very surreal moment. It was horrifying. It's still horrifying when I think about it, but you know, we were very lucky. He came out of it. In fact, he came out of it that day. He was back to practice 2 days later. I don't think he was supposed to be, but he was. And he just landed now. He's in Vegas at the airport getting picked up.
Huh. So you've done a course in first aid, had you, as we would call it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what a first responder is.
That's what a first.
Okay.
You're the first
right.
one on the scene, the one that's got it.
But you've been trained to how to deal with someone, what position to put them in.
Yeah, exactly. And we had thought that he was having a stroke, and I almost feel inappropriate. I don't know what my effect should be as I'm discussing this, but I'm trying to be very matter of fact, because there is something that people can learn here. We thought he was having a stroke. It turned out he was having a seizure, and you know, there's things that you need to do, and being proactive is one of them. You can't go into shock. You gotta get on the phone. You gotta get help if that's the situation. That's what it was for us. He had a seizure. Yeah, we thought he had a stroke because he commented that his left arm was numb. 15 minutes later, he went down, and you know, that's a very common sign. He had also had a stroke 2 years ago. It turned out to be a seizure, and I don't know, medically speaking, that that's a whole lot better. But I know in my mind it's better. I think you would rather have a seizure, but you know. I don't know. Just
a technical question. I know you've been working a lot with Neil Melanson, isn't it, going into this fight? Has he made a big difference to you in this fight?
Yeah, I've worked with him several times, and yeah, he's great. You know, Vinny Magladesh came out too. I call him Vinny Magladesh because it's very hard to say Magladesh. But he's awesome. He's the defending world champion. You know, these guys roll me around like it's a walk in the park, and. You know, I mean, look, Anderson's a good fighter, man. He's an awesome fighter. But in those areas, he's not those guys. You know, he's not those guys. So I think that'll be a big help. And when I say he's a good fighter, he's not me. He's not the best.